For more than 150 years, the outgoing and incoming U.S. presidents have stood together at every single inauguration. 1897, President Grover Cleveland with President-elect William McKinley. Successive presidents shoulder to shoulder with waves, handshakes, and polite conversation. These iconic moments through the years, a symbol of American democracy and our peaceful and orderly transfer of power, with President Barack Obama passing the baton to Donald Trump after a bitter election season. But today in 2021, this split screen, President-elect Joe Biden atop the Capitol steps before his swearing in, and President Trump across town heading out of it. And we now bring in presidential historian Mark Updegrove. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciated your nuggets and insight all day. And we, of course, just watched images of more than a century of outgoing presidents at the inaugurations of their successors. What's the significance of this tradition, and does it make a difference that former President Trump broke with it?
I think it does, Lindsay, because it shows that he came into the presidency an angry insurgent, defying democratic norms, and he goes out in the same manner. But it shows the nation and the world manifestly the peaceful transfer of power that is a hallmark of American democracy. Thankfully, the former presidents stepped in to fill the void, including, of course, notably, Republican George W. Bush, who voiced his support for President Biden earlier today. But I think it's unfortunately reflective of the character of Donald Trump, and that character, as the Greeks used to say, character is destiny. And unfortunately, the character of Donald Trump is destined to make him a president that will not be looked upon favorably in history.
And President Biden certainly spoke a lot about unity, promising to fight just as hard for the 74 million Americans who voted against him as for those who supported him. We've heard language like this before, but practically speaking, how challenging is it for a president to really bring Americans together, especially in this particular moment?
I think it's very difficult. We've rarely seen America as fractured as it is in this moment. And Joe Biden knows that. As you mentioned earlier, Lindsay, he used the word unity 8 times during the course of his speech. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to make it happen. But I think he's sounding all of the right notes, including his many calls for unity during the course of today. Importantly, though, he has made this inauguration not about Joe Biden, but about America. And I think that in the days to come, that unity will be seen in what he does for the American people. Can he deliver on his promise to do everything he can for all Americans, whether they voted for him or not?
Professor, lastly, what stood out to you about today's inauguration?
What stood out to me, I think, was how humble Joe Biden was. I think we saw in very plain speaking Joe Biden. You and I were on ABC earlier today when James Clyburn was asked to give his advice to Joe Biden. James Clyburn, who more than anyone is responsible for Joe Biden ascending to the presidency, given the support that he gave him in South Carolina. But what he said was, be yourself. And what we saw from Joe Biden today was Joe Biden, the authentic Joe Biden. When Gerald Ford addressed the nation in the wake of the resignation of Richard Nixon becoming the 38th president, he called it a little straight talk among friends. And that's exactly the tone that Joe Biden took today. He left the poetry to Amanda Gorman, but gave us a little straight talk among friends. And that was an authentic Joe Biden. I think we have seen the president that we will see for the next 4 years.
Historian Mark Updegrove, we thank you so much, as always.
Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.